one of the very first things that you must have done was, the makeup thing, the Rise to It video. How did the return of makeup come about?
All right. So what happened was, from the moment I became the manager, promoters all across America would be calling, going, "Hey, we'll give them a big check if they'll do a makeup tour." And I kept saying to them, "No, that's not where we're going. That's been, that was many years prior, and the mystery's gone because everybody now knows what they look like. So that's not something we want to do." But I just kept getting repeated call after call after call from every promoter. Put the makeup on, when they put the makeup on. So I had this idea, and I went to them. I said, "Listen, we've got to shut these people up once and for all. I have this idea for a video, which basically to do a flashback to where you guys would basically say, 'Do you ever think there'll be a time where we can go play without makeup?' And one of you will say, 'No, it's impossible.' And the other one will say, 'Sure, we can do it.'" The story of the genesis of the Rise to It video.
Okay, so were Gene and Paul into it from the get-go, or what was their initial?
Totally. They didn't push back at all. They totally bought into the idea, knew where I was coming from, and signed off. I mean, I will tell you, as I've told many other people who've called me about Kiss books, that in all the artists I've managed my entire 48-year career being a manager, the best clients I ever had as far as just letting me manage the band was Kiss. They never put back on any idea I came up with, and they bought in completely to every single one. I enjoyed every second of it.
Okay. Do you remember if you ever discussed having Eric and Bruce in makeup as well?
No. That's why in the video their backs are to the camera because it was, the concept was that it was during the initial 4-member period that we did that this video took place. So no, there was never discussion about Eric or Bruce being in makeup during it. It was always just going to be Gene and Paul.
So were you aware at the time that the outfits was not matching each other, from the same era?
No.
Okay.
I wasn't that fanatic about knowing days or years or whatever. It was just the idea was to just put the outfits back on for the video.
So how was the response from the press and fans? Did it create the buzz you were hoping for?
To be honest with you, no.
Yeah.
I was very surprised, and it did not. The video did not have had a big press turnout at the video shoot. A lot of people were interested in covering the video shoot itself. I was very surprised after the fact that and remember, there wasn't really a YouTube back then, so it was all MTV and whatever, but it did not drive the sales of the hotness like I thought it would, which obviously did get driven by the next song, which was Forever, which obviously drove the record and then made the tour, be a massive tour. But no, it really was a disappointment as far as the public response to it. I expected, after all the clamoring for makeup, I was really underwhelmed by the response from the public as far as finally seeing these guys back in makeup after X amount of years.
Okay, so why do you think that was? Why didn't it become?
I don't know. I think first of all, I think it's a great song. I love the song, and I thought the video was very, very good. I thought it was funny with the dialogue and everything. So I really don't know. It's one of those things that I'll never know as to why it didn't do more. It just did it for some reason. I don't know.
Okay. Then I must ask you about the difficult situation with Eric Carr. How did you cope with Eric becoming sick?
Well, I had heard after the tour was over that he had gone to the hospital and they had found some growth near his heart or his aorta or something. I forget the exact details. And it turned out that it was going to be going to be potentially a fatal situation. And obviously it was devastating, and obviously more devastating to them than me because they have a much longer history. But it was very sad, and the decision was, there were numerous meetings about continuing, not continuing, etc. And it was obvious that the band had to continue, and they were told that he was not going to be healthy enough to go tour. So that's when the decision was made to bring in Eric Singer. And eventually, unfortunately, he did pass away. But, it was obvious based upon the information we were getting that he was not going to be able to play again. So the band had to decide whether to carry on or not. And obviously the decision was to carry on. And, it's a tough decision because obviously over the years they have been really attacked heavily by the family, by the press, whatsoever, about supposedly being so cold-hearted, replacing Eric. But I was in those meetings, and there was really no choice. I mean, he was not going to recover, and they had to carry on. So the decision was made to replace him with Eric Singer.
Okay, yeah, because the critique is sort of, why didn't you use a temp drummer to fill in and let Eric Carr stay in the band until he either died or recovered?
Well, I mean, the decision was that based upon information was he was not going to recover, and and that we had to make the revenge record, and then we kept going. So
yeah.
I mean, I feel very bad about it. So there's no easy answer, and there's nothing that's going to please the fans or Eric's family, whatever, which is why they've been so criticized over the years. But I got to tell you, from my point of view, being in the meetings, there was total empathy about the situation, and nobody felt good about it. But it's just a decision that unfortunately had to be made, and had to carry on, and that's what happened. And then subsequently, he did pass away from the illness. So, but it was not an easy decision. And I went to the funeral with Gene and Paul, and it was quite emotional. I mean, this was not an easy call by any stretch. But it's happened to other bands also. I mean, many bands have had to carry on after deaths of members, and they have. So,